Greetings everyone, a warm welcome to you all from wherever you are viewing this around the world. Namaste. Aquarius, this is your July reading. The 3 different decks in front of you and 3 cards from each should lead to a nice, strong, healthy reading. I have done a little bit of intuitive work for you before we start. You received the number 3, which comes back down to the Trinity number. So there's something to me when that number appears that takes us further out. It's like the triangle, the apex, that feeling of something structured either occurring in the background or available for you to enlighten yourself with or grab onto those energies. This could be a cycle of completion and awareness and new beginnings. It might also suggest that you've learnt a lot in the recent past and you're taking it with you as you move forward. You might find new friends and allies as the year develops and moves forwards as well. There's also a degree of feminine energy around and sexual liberation. So remember too that July we start the eclipses again, the second half of the ecliptical cycle for the year, and eclipses tend to bring up hidden things and things that we've either been holding back ourselves, too afraid to address, or that we haven't really been aware of that have been going on. So things do happen in and around the eclipse periods. So for Aquarius, let's see what's coming for you guys for July. I'm looking for some reason at these beautiful pink and green stones over here as well, and I'm getting the feeling of pink and green colours for you guys. It may be helpful for the month of July. Maybe that's the feminine type energy colours. Anyhow, let's see what Aquarius is getting. The door to personal healing and happiness, indecision and hostilities. Okay, and let's see what the John Holland Psychic Tarot is going to give. The Sacral Chakra, patience, and transformation. This is a pretty big reading for you guys actually. Let's just move these up. And that patience, number 14, is reversed at the moment. So we shall look into that. Last cards, the Morgan Greer. The 8 of Cups reversed, the Knight of Cups, and the 6 of Pentacles. So as we can see here, we have a few major arcana cards that came in. You have the Patience reversed, which is the Temperance reversed. You have Transformation, which is the Death card. So that those two are they line up with each other, 13 and 14. You also have the Sacral Chakra card here. We have hostilities over there as well, so we have a few things going on, and this reversal down here. Interestingly enough, the card up on the top left, the door to personal happiness and healing, is a wonderful card to receive. It tells you exactly that this is a time that there could be a lot of personal healing and happiness going on at many different levels, so emotional, physical, spiritual, relationship wise, and that's how you start off the month. Then we come in here and we get a much more kind of unusual mix going on. This card in the middle, as it's been playing out as the readings have progressed for the month, is quite an important card. Now it's reversed, so it tells us that there's a little bit of, I don't know, maybe destabilization occurring in the month, or uncertainty around certain events or feelings. The Temperance card or the Patience card would tell us to have patience, and the fact that it's reversed might mean that you've got a lack of patience at the moment. So it generally tells us that we need to stop and think about situations before we take sudden, moves or actions. It also says to balance things out in life and to really think twice before you make sudden decisions. And this can be around, again, many different perspectives of your life. It does specifically talk about our body, our health, what we're doing with it as well. It also talks about spending time outdoors and being in contemplation and at one with nature, which can be really beneficial when we are seeking to find answers to problems. Oftentimes we can meditate when we're in beautiful outdoor spaces, whether they be rivers or mountains or beaches or forests or anywhere. So, and this card up here also shows this beautiful outdoor scenery, suggesting that connection to Gaia and groundedness will be very beneficial in bringing in healing and soothing energies for the month. We come to the sacral chakra here, and this is the second area of the body down by the lower part in the hips, thighs, buttocks, up into the lower intestines and into the sexual organs for both sexes as well. Now when these cards turn up, it can indicate that there is a blockage in this part of our body, and this can either be a physical blockage, so some of you may be requiring a free flowing up in that area. It might be that you could benefit with massages or movement or exercise or chiropractic work or Reiki healing or something. Other times it can mean it is the chakra wheel itself that is blocked. Now if that's the case, we're quite often blocked in the capacity of our creative oomph, our power, our gusto. So some of you might feel a bit sluggish and think, I just don't know what I want, or I can't get my zing together, I can't write anymore if some of you are writers, and you just might feel a bit deflated. It can also have to do with our sexual zones, so there might be a block there for some of you within the relationship perspective. There might be something going on at a personal level. There might be, some of you might have fertility problems at the moment, and some of you might even have trouble in that area that needs gynecological work for the woman, or men having bits and pieces looked at as well. It might be a good month to do a health check, to really look at the body and go, right, let's tick some things off here. Is this working? Is that working? Could I change this? Could I add to that? Yada yada, and so on. It can also mean for some of you that if you really meditate on the sacral chakra area and utilize that orange color and get flow going through that body, you could come up with some profound energies and ideas and activation. So there's also that perspective to look into. We see down here the reversed Eight of Cups, and we notice the ecliptical moon. So I talked about the eclipses coming in, and possibly the moon cycles would affect you one way or another. The reversed Eight of Cups means that you may be thinking about leaving a situation, like a relationship or a job or a career or a house or where you live, but it says to stop and make sure you think about it a little bit, because you may not have given the situation enough time yet. It also makes me think of the fact that when it's upright, it quite often points to unbalanced relationships around you, but given that it's reversed, it makes me feel that more balance could be coming into relationships. So perhaps you're thinking of moving on from relationships that haven't been serving you well, and maybe there's a little bit of a time lapse here going on, or it's taking longer than you anticipate, or it's not quite as easy for it to happen. Perhaps there's more connection in the background that needs to be worked on for it to have a smooth transition into leaving it behind, so that you're emotionally disconnected properly and that you're ready to move forward. And that's when we move up here to this indecision. It's like do I, don't I, should I, shouldn't I, you know, what the hell am I doing? And we all get periods like that in life, and there's nothing to be worried about. Indecision means we have choices. Choices is a wonderful place to be because we have options, which means things are occurring in our life. So instead of looking at indecision as, you know, all negative and worried and anxious, look at it as going, wow, I'm lucky, I've got choices. I would hate to be in a place where I have no choice, where I'm stuck with one outcome, because I love choices. But sometimes I can't make them myself. So don't worry about indecision, but it is a card that it's turning up to perhaps give you the idea that as the month progresses, there will be things occur that you're not entirely sure which way to go about. A good way to find out an answer is to flip a coin. Like if you have a couple of options, say they might be about jobs, and you think, gosh, do I take that job there or this one? So in your mind you take the coin and it's heads or tails, and you say to yourself, okay, heads is job 1 and tails is job 2, and then you flick it and let it pick whichever one it lands on, and when you look at it, it's your instant gut feeling. So for instance, say job 1 was heads and it lands on heads, and you go, oh, damn, that tells you that you really wanted to take job number 2. So it's trusting the gut instinct, it's spreading out your feelers a bit more, and you can also ask other people for their contribution to things when you're a bit stuck. So you can say to friends or relatives or co-workers, hey guys, I've got 2 options here, this is this and that's that, what do you all think? It doesn't mean you have to take their ideas totally, but sometimes what they say within a conversation can give you the insight that you were just looking for to help you make a decision. Also, writing things down. You write a list, A and B, and write reasons for and against for both of them, and one of them quite often stands out. We've talked about the Patience card already. We come down here to the Knight of Cups. So 2 cup cards down here tend to relate a little bit to relationships or things that are connected to our heart, often that we're passionate about then, or close relationships in life. This Knight can often come in to be the offer of some sort of love. So for some of you, you might literally meet someone who is offering you a relationship, and you're thinking, not sure if this is my cup of tea, not sure if I like this person. This is where the indecision might be coming from. And it's telling you, you know, have a bit more patience, let things expand a little bit, let them grow. So perhaps if there are offers coming to you in the month of July, they might be coming from a heartfelt place, or they might stir your heart. They don't have to just be offers of romance. They can be offers of career choices, or home living choices, or something that you're passionate about in your life. So remember to give things due contemplation in the month of July, and to consider the overall effect that they would have on you if you do or don't uplift them. You know, what type of effect would they have on your health overall? Would it be beneficial for you? Would it slow you down? Would it negate things? Would it cause too much stress? Think of a lot of different options before you firmly implant yourself into something that you may regret later on. This row down here is quite powerful, and it's interesting that I pulled those stones out at the very beginning, and I said I had the feeling I wanted to put these stones out, and they are beautiful rose quartz, calcium manganese, and this green. And the green and the pink are heart healing energies. They're very calming and they're very nurturing. The hostilities card, unfortunately, from this particular deck, when it comes out, it does mean there is someone around you who is creating aggression, and it's a pain in the butt, and they have a hostility about you usually, and they are going around and they want to cause a pain. I don't think there's a great way out of this card. I've pondered upon it quite a lot, and it just basically, be prepared. Watch out for people around you. Be careful who you share your information with and who you take on board as confidants. Keep some things to yourself. Don't tell everybody everything, and don't talk to everyone. If open hostilities flare up, back away from them or move away if you can. Don't let it become the pathway forward. We're much better moving forward in positivity than we are in aggression and hostility. So think about that, and think about these beautiful energetic crystals that ended up on the top of that card. So they are there kind of like empowering love and compassion and gentleness, and they are deflating the hostility energy of the card. So I think that was really fortunate. We come down here to the death card. We know that death is transformation, so I like the word that John Holland uses for this card. Transformation is often about leaving things behind, so it's a cycle sometimes that we just go, no, finished with it, it's done. So we're purging things out. Now this very much relates to the first card in the back. This one here, the door to personal healing and happiness. Those two go together particularly well, because when we have a transformation or we let stuff go that no longer suits us in life, that was slowing us up and causing blockages, when we let that go, we become like her. She has butterfly wings on the back of her because she's in the state of transformation. She's becoming enlightened. She's becoming more aware. So to do that, of course, is a bit painful, and it means letting go of something and dropping things off. So provided we don't worry about it and we let the natural flow of the evolution and cycles of life come to us, then it's a much less painful transition. It could be tied up to this. There may be someone that you completely let go of in July, that they really shouldn't have been in your life because they're pretty bloody yucky. Just get rid of them, actually. It could be very much to do with that. The bottom card down here, the Six of Pentacles, is actually a nice card. It's about give and take and the cycles of life, and knowing that everything is cyclical and we are always in a state of flux and flow. You are either being the person who is giving out to others who are less fortunate than yourself, which is a magnificent position to be in because you're the giver. You're either giving love or support or money or wisdom or nurture or growth, or you're the person receiving it. It's also wonderful to receive because that means somebody loves you enough to give you support and nurture and care and wisdom or money. So either way, it's just as powerful. It's a positive card. Sometimes when it turns up, it means that there can be an influx of money coming your way. You might be granted some, you might get some in a will or an inheritance or win a lot. Well, that was a Freudian slip. I don't know, somebody might win lotto. Don't pin that one on me. But some of you might win some money. So yeah, I think it's a really nice way to finish this off. We've booted him out, we've dealt with him, we've dropped down those hostilities with the crystals that are on the top. We've given birth to something new, and we've ended up manifesting something at the same time. So the reading is very powerful for you guys, and I think the eclipses are going to play a part in it. So there you are, Aquarians. Thank you for joining me. I do have 2 Aquarians in my home, so I'm always very interested in hearing the readings when they come up. So yeah, I wish you all the very best for a prosperous, healing, transformative July ahead. And yeah, boot those hostilities out the door and let them go. Thank you for all for liking the video and for subbing and leaving your comments. I do love reading them. And thank you all for joining me on these journeys. It really is wonderful. Remember to check your moon and rising signs too, because you might find just as much interesting information there. Take care, everyone. Much love. Namaste.